You must stand firm against terror. You must say to those who still would use violence for political objectives, you are the past. Your day is over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
The Christmas lights in Belfast, switched on by the first American president ever to visit the city, lighting up the season of peace, perhaps for the people of Northern Ireland, an era of peace. It was the end of an extraordinary day, an extraordinary presidential tour de force that has seen the leader of the world's only superpower throw the full might of his office behind the Northern Ireland peace process. He has not tried to negotiate nor broker deals, but nor has he been afraid to use the most powerful words ever spoken in favor of peace.
When God was with us, he said no words more important than these: "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall inherit the earth." Merry Christmas, and God bless you all.
His theme, as yesterday in London, was "Be prepared to take risks for peace." It had been a day for taking risks, a day for doing what would so recently have been impossible. A presidential motorcade stopping for an impromptu walkabout in the Protestant heartland of the Shankill Road, talking to children as if it were the most ordinary street in the world. The armoured limousines drove on across the peace line that divided Belfast between Catholic and Protestant, on into the Catholic Falls Road. There to greet him was Sinn Féin's Gerry Adams, to receive the presidential handshake, this time on camera, but perhaps also to be bound even more closely into President Clinton's drive for peace. But the president had little time to talk. For 25 years, no politician has really trusted for their safety in Belfast. But here was the President of the United States throwing himself into the crowds, even allowing himself to be kissed. As he said, his greatest wish is that Belfast become a normal city.
The President of the United States.
He had expected this to be an emotional day, but surely expected nothing as poignant as the young girl who introduced him this morning.
My first daddy died in the Troubles. It was the saddest day of my life. I still think of him. Now it is nice and peaceful. I like having peace and quiet for a change. My Christmas wish is that peace and love will last in Ireland forever.
He couldn't help but throw his arm around her, nor admit that he could never have put it better.
This is one of those occasions where I really feel that all that needs to be said has already been said.
But in this keynote speech, he was careful to spell out that he hadn't come to Northern Ireland to take sides. The only distinction he'd make was between men of peace and men of violence.
You must stand firm against terror. You must say to those who still would use violence for political objectives, you are the past. Your day is over. Violence has no place at the table of democracy and no role in the future of this land. By the same token, you must also be willing to say to those who renounce violence and who do take their own risks for peace that they are entitled to be full participants in the democratic process.
"We want Bill," they cried on the streets of Londonderry. The people here have watched him put every ounce of his authority behind keeping the ceasefire intact. They've heard him single out, in particular, SDLP leader John Hume as the most eloquent spokesman of non-violence. In this city in particular, so often the scene of the worst of the Troubles, they've heard him give a message of hope, if they can keep the guns silent.
Have the patience to work for a just and lasting peace. Reach for it. The United States will reach with you. The further shore of that peace is within your reach. Thank you, and God bless you all.
He has been cheered by Catholic and Protestant alike, scenes that will undoubtedly play well among Irish Americans back home. But among those who followed him today, from Londonderry back to Belfast tonight, there can be little doubt too that he does believe his presence here can help all Irish men and women. The President and his First Lady will spend tonight here in Belfast before travelling tomorrow to Dublin. the final stage of a visit that has already breathed new life into the peace process. James Mates, News at 10, Belfast.